guys, welcome back. So please do follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and subscribe. Well, today, as you can see, I got a new haircut. Yay!
Hey!
And I'm ready in style for the group that we are going to talk about today. And that is
Red Velvet.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah, I feel bad. I don't have my Patmmer mask today. It went on a vacation. Hopefully it'll be back next week.
I think it will.
I hope so.
I do like the mask you're wearing, though.
Thank you. It's a low-key Avatar The Last Airbender reference. Blue Spirit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We did mention we wanted to, talk a little bit about Avatar, have references here and there, and
just subtly in each episode.
That's not so subtle, but
yes.
Well, I mean, if we wouldn't have said anything, maybe it would be more subtle, but hey.
Maybe. I know some people at my workplace when I've worn this have asked me if I'm just like into Japanese stuff a lot or if this was some like spirit warrior mask, and I'm like you're not like me. We're not the same person. You do not know.
Well, let's get started then.
Are you ready?
I'm actually excited. I do love some of Red Velvet, but I haven't listened to anything recent, so I'm excited.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. I know it's interesting because we actually know a little bit about Red Velvet. They're not a totally new group to us, but as I was doing a little bit of background research on them, I did learn a few new things and was reminded of a few things. Okay. So that's interesting. So we have Red Velvet, like we said. Now, this is a little crazy to me, even though I knew it in the back of my head. Yeah. But they debuted in 2014.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be 7 years.
That's crazy because, like, I've always considered them a new group, even though, like, it's been a while.
I know. So it's kind of crazy to me. So it was August of 2014.
It's because when we got into K-pop,
they were new.
Yeah.
Yeah. So throwback, we got, well, I don't know. I guess I can say we. You were a little bit ahead of me in terms of the K world, but collectively, 2014 was our K-pop, K-drama year, at least when we went hardcore.
Yeah.
So that's when they were debuting. So they were like brand new rookies when we really got into K-pop. And the fact that that's going on 7 years is super, super crazy to me.
I know.
But they are under SM Entertainment, as we all know, part of the big three. They're a K-pop pop group. They currently have 5 members, which is very obvious. But one thing that I know I forget sometimes is they started out with 4 members.
Yeah,
they did not start out with 5, which I always find myself forgetting because I feel like they're so iconic, the 5 of them.
Yeah.
And their fandom name, are you good at pronouncing their fandom name?
No.
Because I always butcher it. I know their fandom name, but I can never pronounce it.
Same.
Like Red Velvu?
Yes, that sounds right. I don't know.
I never pronounce it correctly.
I feel like even if I hear it and they're like, repeat after me, I'd be like, you know?
Yeah, that's how I feel with a lot of languages. That's how I felt when you tried to teach me Spanish. It was like, say this. And I was like,
This just reminds me of that one time we were trying to sing like...
I knew you were going to say that. Miracles in December by EXO. There's a really good cover in Spanish.
And it has the lyrics, and we were trying to, sing that, and I was trying to show Summer how to sing that. We could not get past,
we got past, 6 words, and then I think I ended up on the floor.
Laughing.
Yeah.
We couldn't, so we just quit.
So I apologize, fans of Red Velvet. I'm sorry. If anyone can leave me, phonetic pronunciation in the comments, please do that. Because I would like to join y'all's fandom.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I just can't pronounce it, and that's sad. So Red Velvet does have a light stick, which I don't know if you saw.
I haven't seen it, actually.
You haven't? I'll have to find a picture and show it to you. They have a nice, cute little light stick. And they do have official colors. It's like a pastel coral is what the color's actually called. And it is like a nice red coral color. Which, since they're Red Velvet, that should not be too surprising. But I guess I was kind of surprised it wasn't more like a red velvet color of red, and that's more like red coral.
I know. I mean, I didn't know that was your color, and now that you mention it, I'm like, I figured it would be more red, more like rich.
But I think now that I I'm thinking back like to their light stick, if I'm not mistaken. I think they do have both like a deeper red and a coral color, I think, worked into it. So I think that works out.
That is cool.
I'll have to pull up a picture of the light stick and embed it somewhere here.
Oh, we can
all see it. So getting into a little bit of background history on Red Velvet. Like we said, they debuted in 2014. Interesting enough, they were the first girl group to debut under SM since FX. So it was like 5 years. And they were the first group to debut out of SM since 2012. So since EXO, which I thought was interesting. They debuted with the song Happiness. It peaked up to number 5 on the Korean charts. And interesting fact that just happened recently about that single, Happiness. It currently has over 100 million views on YouTube. And it's the first debut single by an SM group to achieve that.
Wow.
From what I've like read.
Okay.
I think it was within like a certain time frame.
Okay.
So that was super interesting. Interesting enough, though, even though they had some success with this debut single, they didn't win anything for that single. So I figured debut single hitting number 5 is pretty good.
Is this where they had their hair colored differently? Or you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know if I know what you're talking about.
We'll see. I mean, are we going to watch this?
If you want to. We can.
We'll see.
It's their debut.
Okay, because I don't think I've listened to this.
I think I may have heard it. Okay. I haven't watched the video, but there are some things I'll mention later on about the video that will probably ring a bell to you. Oh, okay. And that might help. Other things that happened early on for Red Velvet, obviously we added in a 5th member in 2015. That was with the release of Ice Cream Cake, which was their first mini album. They won Rookie Awards in 2015 at both the Seoul Music Awards and the Golden Disc Awards, which I thought was super interesting because at this point in time, they still haven't won anything on a music show. But they're winning Rookie Awards. Their songs, are charting, in the top 5 on the charts.
That's interesting.
They're getting, decent amount of views on YouTube, but they haven't won anything yet. Huh. They did have their first U.S. performance in 2015 as well. That was at the 2015 KCON. Okay. Which now looking back, I vaguely remember people mentioning this, like, upcoming, rookie group for SM at KCON. Their music video, Dum Dum, was the only non-English entry on a Rolling Stones list of the top 10 music videos of that year, of 2015.
Wow. I mean, that's a bop.
And we still haven't won anything yet. What? We still haven't won. So Dum Dum charted number 2 on the digital charts in Korea when it came out.
That's such a good song.
And from the research I've done, still no wins.
Oh my goodness.
Which is a little crazy.
Shocking. So, also considering like the
it's
company
crazy.
They're under. Yeah, I know.
It's crazy. So I'm like within 2014 and 2015, so within a year and a half time frame since they debuted, they were on a Rolling Stones list. They've gotten, songs that are being released and charting. I mean, 2, 5, 4. They go to KCON. They're winning Rookie Awards.
But still no.
They didn't win anything.
What?
I know, it's a little crazy because I think Red Velvet is so iconic.
Yeah.
Now, to think that they didn't just come out the gates winning things is kind of ridiculous.
Because you always think there's some correlation with just their success, their popularity, the wins, and winning something at award shows. Like the big yearly ones. That's crazy.
It is pretty crazy. So that's why I thought that was kind of nuts.
Yeah.
So they were definitely busy in their early days, but things were a little low key in terms of their success. However, once we get into 2016, 2017, that's when things start going really well for Red Velvet. Okay. We start hitting it big. So with the release of their 3rd mini album, which was Russian Roulette, that's when they get their first music show win, which is crazy because I remember when that song came out and I was like, oh, this is like an earworm. Like it's super catchy. But I didn't realize that's what got them a win.
What? Yeah, because I think at that point I did listen to that song and then I'm like, what else do these girls have to offer? And then I loved Dum Dum. I was like, that's my shit. And then I mean, I never really thought about them when I always just assumed they had.
I assumed they
from
were
the
just
beginning.
like, yeah, I just assumed they debuted and were like, here's your trophy for your number one.
Right?
So I thought that was interesting that they didn't get it immediately. And I didn't
Right.
realize that it didn't come until Russian Roulette. Because I know when Ice Cream Cake came out, that personally was my jam. Like,
Oh.
that was my guilty pleasure jam.
Okay.
Because when that came out, I was still, I don't really know what the word to use for it is. Maybe a like ignorant female K-pop fan. And the way that I was like, I think we've mentioned it before too, but
Yeah.
I was like, I don't need to listen to girl groups. I'm here for the guy groups. Right. But then like Ice Cream Cake came out and then like I would hear it and I'll just say, yeah. But if you'd ask me if I like knew that song, I'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's, yeah. So it was kind of shocking to me that they had several what I would definitely consider to be very good releases before they actually won. 2016 was also a big year for them in the way that that's when they had their first solo concert in Seoul. So their first headlining concert was in 2016. And an interesting thing that I read about that was this was a planned 2-day event, but they added on an additional day due to demand, due to popularity. Wow. So obviously they're getting more and more fans at this point. People are recognizing that these girls are like hella talented. And in 2017, this is when they really start to hit commercial success. This is, we see releases such as Red Flavor, Rookie, Peekaboo. These are all the 2016, 2017 releases that really got them some popularity and commercial express.
Red Flavor, though.
Red Flavor is a good song. I don't have that album, but I want that album.
It's a good song. I love that song.
It is very catchy, and it is like the perfect summer song.
And then just the video is awesome.
It's so cute with all the colors. Yes. So moving into 2018, Red Velvet makes their Japanese debut with Cookie Jar.
Okay.
Which to me, it's crazy. That was in 2018 because I remember when that came out. I remember I was buying some other album. I don't remember what website it was on, but it was an overseas website. And I was buying another album and I kept seeing pre-order Cookie Jar here, pre-order Cookie Jar here, Red Velvet's Japanese album, Cookie Jar, pre-order here. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And the fact that I'm like, whoa, that's like more than 2 years ago. That's so crazy to me.
No, it's going to be 3 years.
Yeah. Like more than 2 going on 3. I'm like, that's crazy. And I just thought Cookie Jar was a really cute name for an album.
That's cute. And just, it matches with.
But it's with Red Velvet. It just, it goes with them, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, also in 2018, and I do remember this, they were part of a performance in North Korea.
Yeah.
And interesting on that, from what I read, they were the first SM group to go to North Korea for a performance since Shinhwa.
Wow.
And sometimes I forget Shinhwa started out as an SM group.
Yeah.
Like that's how long like Shinhwa's been around. Like they're, I don't know if you listen to Shinhwa at all. I listened to like a couple of their songs. One of their songs was in my top 20 on, or my top, what? Oh, wow. I butchered that so bad. The thought was in my brain and I could not get it out. I had a Shinhwa song in my top songs for 2020
there you go. Too
on
many
Spotify.
in there.
There's just too many top and 20 and this, and I'm like my top 20 to 2020 to blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, 2020 like did all types of things to my brain. I think it just turned it into scrambled eggs apparently.
Yes.
But Shinhwa, yeah, I have a couple of their songs that I like on my Spotify, and every time they come on, I feel like I'm listening to the Backstreet Boys. And I have to like belt it out. But yeah, Shinhwa started out as an SM group, y'all, and between Shinhwa, there was another group apparently from SM that went to perform in North Korea.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I thought that was a little crazy. We'll definitely talk about their North Korea performance a little later. I do have more on that.
Yes.
But just getting into, you know, more facts and knowledge about Red Velvet. They embarked, I don't know if you remember this, on a world tour. So they have done a total of 3 tours. I believe it was their second tour that was their first world tour, which they did come to North America. Dallas was one of their stops.
I do remember that, yes.
I contemplated going.
Me too.
But it was in February, which is a no-go for my line of work. Yeah. So I couldn't go, but I really considered getting a ticket to see them because they're good.
Yeah, for me, it was during school time. So.
Yeah. It was during the week. That was the problem too. It was during the week, but I really considered going to see them. If they come back, I will definitely consider it.
Oh, heck yeah.
But I always feel like that's a big milestone when a group starts doing world tours.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, you did it. Like, you made it. Like, and it's just exciting that they get to go see their non-Korean fans or like their non-Asian fans. Because I feel like a lot of groups will just do Asian tours. So they'll have a World Asia tour. I'm looking at you, Super Junior. You're famous for doing this and breaking my heart.
Especially if you think of SM, like, because I know other companies do send off their artists sooner in their career, but I feel like SM, it takes them a minute to send them off. It does. And I feel like SM's very good, and I don't mean good as good, but they're very good at compartmentalizing. I cannot talk today. They are good at like dedicating certain groups for certain regions, I feel. So they're good at being like, oh, TVXQ, you're gonna go live in Japan because you're the kings there. Super Junior, you'll do World Asia tours. Super M, you can go to the United States. Everyone else, you can have your party in Korea. Like, I mean, it's worked out for them. For us fans,
for us
not
fans
cool,
here,
but
it is not okay.
Yeah.
Makes me so sad. So I do think every time I read that a group starts going on the world tours, I think that's like a really big milestone. So Red Velvet has gone on some world tours. Hopefully once COVID is a thing of the past, they'll start to do that again. Speaking of COVID, a lot of their 2020 activities were put on hold because of COVID. So they had more tour stops on their third tour. I believe they were in Japan that they had to cancel because of COVID. It just wasn't safe. However, they still were able to debut a subunit. Don't know if you remember that from this past summer of 2020. Irene and Solgi. I never feel like I pronounced her name correctly.
That's me with everybody. So
Solgi,
I think so.
That's how I've always pronounced it, but when I say it out loud, I'm not sure if it's correct.
Someone help.
Well, I was gonna say I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm trying. That's how I'm saying your name.
But I did see that they did debut.
They were able to debut with a song called Monster, and they have their own unit. And they're the first Red Velvet subunit. So I think that's another cool milestone for groups once they start getting subunits. It's always interesting to see the different combinations that people will do in like duos or trios.
Oh, yeah. Get to showcase themselves a little bit more.
For sure. That's why I think subunits are super cool, because maybe it's someone that maybe gets less line distribution in the full group, and now you're a soloist. Now you're in like a duo or a trio and you get more focus on you. I think it's really helpful and really shows what they can do and their skills. And Red Velvet, so this is getting us up to speed on current year 2021. They had their first full group performance in roughly a year. We will get into those reasons as to why they didn't have many group performances in 2020. It wasn't just COVID. There were a few other things as well. But they were able to have a full group performance on SM's online concert. So on January 1st of this year, 2021, SM had a giant free concert.
That broke records too.
Yeah. I mean, do you remember what the stat was? I don't remember off the top of my head, but it was like so many millions.
Yeah, it was a lot. I remember I sent you a message. Messaging about it.
It was so many million. Was it like 35 million or something like that? It was some ridiculous thing of the amount of people that tuned in for this concert. It was a free concert on YouTube. I think it was on Facebook, VLive, all those various platforms. They had this concert, and it was a long concert because I saw little snippets of it. It was like a 3, 4, or 5 hour concert because I did not see the whole thing. I just saw little snippets. I saw some Super M performance, and I saw some Super Junior. I think it was a long concert.
A record breaking 35.8 million viewers.
35.8.
Yeah, 0.83, but yeah.
Wow, so almost 36.
I know.
Million people. So if that doesn't tell you how much the world has adopted K-pop, I really don't know what does. Because think about it, that's like just an SM concert.
I know.
What if you had like, I don't even know how they would do it, but like a joint mega concert, and you had like Big Hit and SM and YG and JYP and all of them.
There's shows that have that for benefit causes or for something like that, or even like Mama Awards. But imagine having that, but like a bigger scale.
But like all the groups
That'd be crazy.
for like, what if it was like a 48-hour concert or something?
Yeah, it's kind of like a music festival in a way.
I would go to that. I would pay money for that.
Or like having a K-pop music festival.
Yes, if you put the right groups there, I would be there.
That actually sounds like a great idea. Go camping wherever they, you know how they do the whole people sleep there.
Coachella, but K-pop.
Yes, hell yeah, let's do it.
That would be kind of amazing.
Right?
I would pay money for it.
I would pay money too.
I'm just saying, if you got Super Junior, Day 6,
Day 6,
EXO,
everybody,
like just have all of SM and
of
YG
course,
and JYP.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh.
That'd be awesome.
And then like have people from your smaller labels too.
Santa, yeah.
Oh, it'd be amazing. I would go to that.
Me too.
So, hey, K-pop world, can you make that happen?
Please.
So we are here for it. And,
After COVID, of course. But, yeah.
Of course. Do it in 2024 for my 30th birthday, please.
You're so old. We're old. Anyway.
I was gonna say, don't tell me I'm old.
No, we're still
I'm like
very
7
young.
weeks older than you.
We're very young still.
Yes. We'll just be slightly less young in a few years.
Yeah.
But we'll be the ones with money for an extravagant 2-day K-pop music festival. Right? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
This needs to happen now. This is all I can think about.
Okay.
But there's just some facts and history on basically what Red Velvet has been doing for the past couple years. Like I said earlier, they have gone on a few tours.
Yes.
And I have a list of their discography. They've released a lot of stuff in less than 7 years. So they've gone on 3 tours. They've been busy. So their first concert tour was called Red Room, and that was 2017 to 2018. Red Mare was the second tour, and that was 2018 to 2019. And their third tour, La Rouge, was 2019 to 2020. So basically, they're on tour like
Back to back.
all the time.
Yeah, boom, boom, boom.
And even though they're on tour all the time, they've released a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So they have, I'm trying to count, a lot of mini albums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
11?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mini albums.
Yeah.
And at least 2 of them are Japanese. So I'm like nearly 10 Korean mini albums.
That's
and
insane.
they have 2 full-length albums. Third full-length album being a repackage. That's a lot.
That's a lot of music.
In 7 years. Less than 7 years.
Yeah.
Less than 7 years. Like 6.5 years. They've released 11 mini albums, 2 albums, a repackaged album. I think I read they also have at least 1 compilation album. And they have participated on 3 tours.
Plus all the activities they do on the side.
Plus the subunit, plus dramas, photo shoots, endorsements, the SM concert,
variety shows, etc.
I'm like, these girls are busy. I don't know, like, and they look so fabulous while they're doing it. I would look like a zombie.
Yeah.
Like, I would be dead tired if I was them. I would not be able to do it with, like,
props to them.
with all that they do. Like, my brain is like short circuiting because it can't
You can't wrap around that.
I really can't think like, how do you do that? Like, how do you do that? It is crazy.
It's their dream. It's their passion. I think.
And they do great. They do great with all of these activities, and they look great while doing it. They are fabulous.
They are.
So we do have some scandals and controversies to talk about. Now, obviously, this is not to, bash them or bring down on anything, but there are some things that people have said or made comments of pertaining to Red Velvet that has given them a little bit of negative press. So we're just going to talk about that real quick, what some of those instances are. Like I said, when I was researching some of these, I'm like, that is totally like not their fault. Why would someone be upset with them for some of these things? It's ridiculous. But these are things that some of the online Korean fans, have not supported Red Velvet with. So I thought it was interesting. The first one being their name. Their name had some controversy because there was an indie band that had been using Red Velvet as their name.
Okay.
I believe that was around 2013. So when SM started saying, hey, we're going to debut this new girl group under the name Red Velvet, this indie band did not like that, obviously.
Yeah.
They, however, did not have the name Red Velvet trademarked. A lot of people were thinking SM would change Red Velvet's name out of common courtesy to this indie band, and they did not. So that did give some backlash. However, that's not the group's fault. Like, it's not the girls' fault. Like, they didn't pick their name. They're not in the legal department. They're not doing that research. They don't know. So while I can understand why this indie band and fans of that indie band may have been upset, I do find it super bizarre that this is considered something that's controversy with Red Velvet members. As it's not their fault. They don't choose it.
It's not their fault. The indie group didn't have, the precautions to take that name and go, trademark it and all that. It's not the girl's fault.
Yeah, it's not. But it's still something that when you look up Red Velvet, it comes up, which I think is kind of sad for them. Another thing that was controversial that happened in their early days was their Happiness music video. You may remember this. The video has been edited since, and remember, this was their debut music video. Yes. There were some newspaper articles in the music video that implied and had some pictures and titles to the newspapers. So these newspaper clippings had pictures, titles, images, all of that relating to the September 11th in Hiroshima atomic bombing attacks.
See, since I haven't seen the video, I don't know the context.
And I briefly remember that I've seen some screen captures and GIFs. And it's just, I think there's some newspaper clippings that are kind of posted around the edges or borders of the screen. And if you zoom in on some of them, you'll see that they're pertaining to 9/11 or the Hiroshima atomic bombings, either in the picture imagery or the way that the article is titled, it's relating to these events that happened.
And is that the only tragedies that you find on this? Because I
believe so. These are the only ones that I was able to find online that were upsetting people. I feel
that's something. Yeah, we should definitely watch the video. So because I don't know. I know it doesn't include that anymore, but I want to see
just to see the rest of the video. Yeah, so that was definitely something that obviously upset people, since these are
once again, it's not their fault.
Very sensitive items, very sensitive events that happen. So I can totally understand why people would be upset. I mean, we're here in Texas and the good old US of A. So obviously we were kids when September 11th happened. That's really devastating and sad event that happened. I didn't have any family or friends that affected, and I still cry when I see videos of it. So I can understand why that would upset people. But once again, not the girl's fault.
At all.
So moving on to the next kind of controversial topic surrounding Red Velvet. Wendy's sassy black girl impression. I don't think that needs a lot of explanation. Basically, Wendy went on a talk show and they were asking her what it was like growing up in North America, in Canada, and she basically just did a couple impersonations of what a white girl and what a black girl sound like. Obviously that was not perceived well, since that's definitely stereotyping different types of people. People were also upset since, from what I read, this has happened more than once on a variety show where she's done some type of impression or caricature like that. So people were definitely disappointed with her, but she's obviously issued apologies, and I don't think she's done anything
ever since
the most recent occurrence. So that's definitely good that I think she's learned that people will be upset when stuff like that is done. Going back to North Korea that we mentioned earlier, there was definitely a little controversy, like we said, around the North Korea
about that,
performance and what happened after. Yuri had a comment on Kim Jong-un, which is the dictator of North Korea.
Yes.
As we all know. After their performance in North Korea, Red Velvet met Kim Jong-un, I think, as well as some others.
Yeah.
And Yuri had remarked that it was an honor to meet Kim Jong-un and these other individuals in North Korea.
Yeah.
They definitely got backlash from this. Shortly after, I believe Red Velvet participated in an event at the Blue House in Seoul. So the Blue House is kind of like their White House.
Yeah.
If you're in the United States, it's kind of the comparison that people make for what that is. And Kim Jong-un, I believe, was there. And they had mentioned that he was warm, like described him as like a warm individual. So they got a lot of backlash from these two occurrences, since Kim Jong-un and North Korea, most people view them with a negative connotation, since that is a country that has a lot of, I don't know how you say, precautions maybe in what type of media and news the people that live there are exposed to, and the way that Kim Jong-un reacts. Yes.
Yeah.
They censor things, I guess, just based on how Kim Jong-un runs the country and his behavior and how he acts, and more or less, I guess, controls the people that live in his country. Not liked, obviously, by most of the world. So to hear Red Velvet say positive things about him, people did not like.
I mean, I understand where people are coming from, but at the same time, put yourself in their shoes. Like, they're not gonna talk.
They're not gonna say something bad about him. I mean, I think they probably just said these things out of respect.
Yeah,
I think in the place that they're,
maybe he was like respectful.
He could have been nice to them,
but
you know. I think they probably just said this more out of a respect thing, and the fact that they're celebrities, they're in the public eye, and why this may be someone that they don't like, he's still a high-ranking political figure. They don't want to
profession and their career in Korea. At least
they definitely don't want to get involved in that. So it's probably just easier to be like, oh yeah, it was nice to meet him. The end.
I think just kind of saying like being a warm person, maybe saying they could have been like, he was respectful towards us.
Yeah, or like he was polite maybe better to them or whatever. Like, oh, he greeted us politely, we shook his hand, type of thing. But that's a very sensitive topic. I think obviously North and South Korea, that's very sensitive to those people. So I can obviously understand why that definitely rubs some people the wrong way, but I don't think they intentionally meant any type of problem with what they said. I don't think they're trying to stir the pot, so to speak. Now getting into some stuff that's happened a little bit more recently, you may have read this online. I remember when this happened, a lot of people were shocked. Wendy fell off of an 8-foot stage at a rehearsal performance for the Gayo Daejeon. Is that how you pronounce the
show? You're asking the wrong person.
That
sounds right.
Gayo Daejeon.
Gayo Daejeon.
So it's like typically towards the end of the year performance show. Red Velvet obviously had a performance stage scheduled for the show. They're there practicing for their performance later that evening. Wendy falls off the stage. It was an 8-foot gap that she fell from. Oof. And there was a lot of backlash to the organizers of this event, since a lot of people were saying the stages were really slick. People were sliding around on them. The stairs connecting to the stage and off stage were apparently not stable. And there were other people that had some close encounters with like slipping or falling. But Wendy's just the one that happened to actually get injured. Wow. So she actually broke a couple bones from this fall. So she obviously had to go to the hospital. She had to recover. So she was not very active 2019 going into 2020 with their group performances. They had to do a couple performances without her. And then obviously COVID hit. So more things were postponed and canceled in 2020. Thankfully, Wendy did make a full recovery. And like we mentioned earlier with the 2021 SM concert, that was mega popular, they were finally able to perform again as a 5-member group. Okay. Yeah. So hopefully 2021 things will definitely improve, hopefully this year, and they can now release more music as a 5-member group and hopefully go back to doing their tours, come back to Dallas, and you know, just go back to being a normal group. The only other kind of scandalous thing I had seen about Red Velvet that happened recently was Irene's attitude.
The way you said that. Yeah, I did read about that.
So there's some recent controversy. Allegedly, one of Irene's stylists had called out a female K-pop celebrity on social media, saying how she had a bad attitude and how she was very rude.
Mm-hmm.
She did not call out Irene by name at the start, but apparently fans were
they kind of put the pieces together,
based on the different context clues that it was Irene, and then Irene came out and apologized, and I believe Irene has apologized multiple times on social media for potentially being rude or saying things that are upsetting to the stylist. SM has also, I think, released a couple statements about that as well. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. I know everyone has a bad day sometimes, but it's important to remember how you carry yourself at all times. And, when you're a celebrity, people are always, I think, gonna micro-analyze you. They're always gonna hold you to a different standard, regardless if that's right or not. I think it kind of comes with that success and popularity and fame. So hopefully that all gets resolved, and hopefully there's no hard feelings, and everyone can just go on and be happy and make 2021 a better year. But that's the majority of the controversies that I read personally about Red Velvet. And again, just to reiterate, I feel like almost everything on this list is either minus a couple things, either not overly serious or just things that aren't their fault. Obviously, the way you treat people and, like stereotyping and stuff like that, that's obviously something that you can control, how you're perceived or what you say or how you act. But the rest of the things on here, they're not really their fault, I think, in my opinion.
Because I feel like, for instance, like the thing Wendy did, I feel like, how can I explain this? I feel like that's something you do behind doors,
I mean, I'm sure she wasn't meaning any ill by it. I'm sure she was probably meaning it as a joke and something funny.
Oh yeah, stereotypes. But I can definitely understand that. I get it, but being a celebrity, being an idol, you just have to be more mindful of what you do. So.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think she did it with. She was probably joking, trying to be funny. But you have to understand, some things aren't funny, period, and you have to also understand what's funny given the environment that you're in.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, maybe she has a black friend that, like, if she does that to them, they all laugh and think it's hilarious. But when you do it on a Korean show for a Korean audience,
that's not funny.
That's not funny. So I'm sure she probably wasn't trying to do anything bad or mean anything bad by that, but I think that's one of those things that sometimes people live and learn. And I know
be more mindful.
We visited Korea before, and I think when we visited Korea, I noticed there's more and more foreigners there now, but for a while the Korean just people that live there, they're mostly all Korean. It's not very diverse. And even like the 2 years, these are things they may have just not
even the 2
been
years
taught.
That we went in 2016. I think I saw less like mix of people.
Yes,
than in 2018.
There was way more like Black and Hispanic foreigners when we went in 2018. Because when we went in 2016, we both still stuck out.
Oh yeah,
but I stuck out a lot less than you did.
Oh, I'm not.
So like when we went to like Itaewon, which is like the foreigner area. I fit in Itaewon. Like, I could have just told people I was an English teacher, and that would have been accepted. Fine. It's like, oh, it's this white lady.
People couldn't figure out what I was, and I'm never going to forget, like, us being at the store and this guy going, tacos, chicharito. I could have taken offense, but I thought it was funny.
It was kind of funny. Because that was, like, the only thing that he knew about Mexico.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say when we were at that, was like historical temple or whatever.
Oh, the story?
And there was an elderly Korean man in a wheelchair, and he rolled up to Patty.
He literally rolled up.
And I think he asked you
something. Korean.
It sounded like a small talk, like, oh, this weather today, or do you have the time?
I was
something
wearing
like
sunglasses, and I panicked a little bit, and I was like, what can I do? So he realizes that I do not understand what he's saying. Took off my glasses and stared into his eyes, and it's like we both acknowledged each other. Okay, we both made a mistake. He's like, let's just pretend like it didn't happen. He kind of grunted and rolled
kind of
away.
like, oh. And then he just
rolled away.
Like nothing ever happened.
And I was like, bro, I feel you. Let's just proceed.
And you just walked away. Like he just rolled away and you walked away in the other direction.
Yeah, shit happens.
It does, but yeah, their population is not as it's definitely getting more and more diverse. But I can understand that, you know, maybe if they haven't been raised or gone to school with a more diverse group of people, it might not occur to them that people might find this offensive. You know, like they might not know that that's gonna upset people. Obviously, I'm sure they do now, and as the world is expanding and their population becomes more diverse, I'm sure this is something that more entertainment companies are gonna, you know, like
kind of catch, like,
and tell people. But I'm not saying that like what she did was right, but I can understand why she may logically not have understood at the time why that was a problem. Yeah. So what I think is important is that everyone's gonna make mistakes as long as she learns from it and moves on from it. I think that's what's the important
message. She owns up
message.
for that and realizes why it was wrong and proceeds. Yeah. I agree.
So I definitely think a lot of these things that were scandals and controversy, I definitely would not hold.
It wasn't like a crime was committed or some sort of like
they're not like murderers or something. For sure. So I definitely wouldn't hold these things against them. Sure.
I mean, even in general, I think a lot of things that are passed as scandals and controversies in Korea and other places in the world aren't necessarily what people would call scandals and controversies.
Oh, for sure. So. I definitely think the way Korean fans look at the K-pop idols is definitely a little bit more harsh than by Western standards too. Yeah,
they're very strict for sure.
I definitely agree. I know not Red Velvet specifically, but I know some other groups we've adventured into have had some like drug problems. I say drug loosely because you always hear such and such left their group or got kicked out of their group because they're a drug addict, and then you just find out that they smoked pot like 3 times.
Yeah. Or like when people complain, they're over here partying. I'm like, they're young. Why not?
Yes, it's like, oh wow, we're so shocked that like a 22-year-old who has like millions of fans and millions of dollars went to a club and drank alcohol and like smoked a cigarette. Like, I mean, you might not like it, but I mean, they're human.
I understand it. And for me, like, I don't think cigarettes are good. But, you know, people buy them. People can use them. You know, they can consume them. Maybe they're not good.
I mean, it's not illegal.
Maybe they're not setting a good example, but they can do it. It's legal. Yeah.
For sure.
But, you know,
that's how people be. That's how they be.
It's just how things are. But can we talk about the members now?
Yes. Let's definitely get into some fun facts about the members. Yes. So we're going to start with our eldest member, Irene. So she is the leader. Yes. Main rapper, lead dancer, sub vocal, center, and visual.
I always thought she was drop dead gorgeous.
Oh, like, yes.
Beautiful.
She was one of those that, like, if she, like, walked into the room, I would just be like, I would be shooketh.
You can tell she is a celebrity. She's that beautiful.
Shooketh. Mm-hmm. She definitely looks like a celebrity. Like, she looks like she was born to be famous.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she has that style down, I think. So she's our eldest member. She's born in March of 1991. Mm-hmm. She was casted in 2009 through a public audition. Okay. She was a participant in SM Rookies. So I'm sure you remember SM Rookies. Mm-hmm. A lot of people that participated in SM Rookies ended up debuting through SM.
Yes.
Multiple members on Red Velvet actually participated in SM Rookies. Fun fact is that Irene actually participated in SHINee's Why So Serious music video. She had an appearance. And once I read that, I was like, oh yeah, hey, that was her. Like, I feel like I'm so used to seeing some of those people sometime that my brain doesn't actually connect that I'm like, hey.
That makes sense. Yeah.
That's you. I feel like when I watch the video, I'm just like, oh, hey, I know you. Yeah. But she was in that music video. Mm-hmm. Another interesting thing, and she's not the only member that was friends with FX, but she was really good friends with FX's Amber when they were trainees. And considering, you know, like her age and when she was casted by SM, and then thinking when FX were trainees and when they were debuting, I think that makes sense. Multiple members of Red Velvet are friends with or were friends with FX. Mm-hmm. And like we mentioned earlier, Irene debuted in the first subunit of Red Velvet in summer of 2020. It's Red Velvet, Irene, and Solgi. So they don't have like a funky subunit name. Their subunit name is just literally their names. So I thought that was interesting. I do think it's kind of funny that their subunit name is just their names. Moving on to Solgi. And like I said, if I'm mispronouncing her name, someone please type it out phonetically for me, because I'm trying. But she's the main dancer and lead vocal. She's born in February of 94.
Hey, February babies from 1994.
Hey. Except I'm not February. Almost. I'm January. But she was also casted in a public audition as well in 2007. She also participated in SM Rookies. And what was interesting about her participation in SM Rookies is she was the first member publicly revealed.
Oh, okay.
In SM Rookies. Like I said, she's also friends with FX's Amber. A lot of the members are.
I feel like everyone's friends with her, though.
Everyone's friends with Amber. I would want to be friends with
too.
Amber. I didn't see Amber's concert performance in Dallas a couple years ago. I wanted to go, but I didn't. And
Work
then
stuff.
Yeah, it was too hard.
Stuff, yeah.
And then you know what like even got me more down about when Amber came to Dallas? What? You know the chicken restaurant in Carrollton? Dongle.
Yeah.
She went to Dongle like afterwards. And like they posted on their Facebook, like the restaurant. They were like, we got FX's Amber in the house. And I was thinking like, oh, it's going to be a picture of them like playing her songs because she just like had a concert. No, like she literally was at the restaurant. She was there. And I was so upset. I was like, I could have gone to her concert and I could have gone and eaten delicious Korean fried chicken and then got a picture with Amber. Yeah. Like, I'm not even the biggest FX fan, but I'm like, Amber is awesome. Yeah. Like, I would want her to be my friend. I would want a picture with her. I guess it's just another reason to be like jealous of the Red Velvet members. They're friends with Amber. But Amber gave Solgi a nickname, the nickname of Solgi Bear or Bear, which cute. I thought was adorable. And I think I had actually heard that nickname before, but I didn't realize like Amber was the one that like gave it to her. So I thought that was cute.
Yeah, I feel like I'd seen that before also.
On like a variety show or something. But I didn't know that it originated from Amber. So like I thought that was super cute. Solgi also participated in the group Girls Next Door. So this group was formed on like a TV show, and it's made of different members of different existing groups.
So I'm like, what?
I think there's a whole bunch of different like group people in this Girls Next Door. Like I think someone from Mamamoo was in there as well. A whole bunch of different girls were in this, I don't want to say like project group, but I think it was just like a project for this particular show. They ended up having this like little project group. I believe that was in like 2018-ish, I believe. So I thought that was super cool. She was the only person from Red Velvet that participated in that, but I thought that was super cool. I always like when there's little project groups like that, because now you get to see people that would otherwise never perform with each other perform together. For sure. So I think that's super cool. And just like we mentioned with Irene, she's part of that subunit.
And I have to say that I love her voice.
She has a really nice voice.
I really just like, I don't know, the tone of it. I don't know how to describe it.
Like the texture, maybe?
Yeah.
It's just like very pleasing. Like, it might not be like, I don't know how to describe it, but I know what you're trying to say, I think, where it might not be like the most like powerful or like distinctive voice, but it's like very like soothing, pleasing to the ear to listen to.
Oh yeah. I have to say, like, I think from all of them, like, I like her vocals the most. Maybe it's not the most like, you know, biggest range or, as you mentioned, powerful, but I just love how it sounds.
I guess like the tone and texture maybe to her voice are just very pleasing.
Yes.
So moving on to Miss Wendy. Also February of 94. Main vocal. Like we mentioned earlier, Wendy did grow up in North America, in Canada. She moved, so she was born in Korea. She moved to Canada after her 5th year of primary school, of elementary school.
I love to see the videos of Wendy pronouncing something in English, just normal, and then like something using the Korean like accent. I love those videos.
Well, I think like I only speak English, but like you're a Spanish speaker. Yeah. Is it like that in Spanish too, where you pronounce something in English?
I'm just going to say something.
The
Walmart,
Spanish?
the store, Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, there's actually memes like that have the signage of the store or a brand written of like in the way that like people pronounce it with those Spanish
with like the accent.
Yeah, it's funny.
Well, because like it would always crack me up. Like, so since we're like in Texas and Dallas, we have obviously like English being spoken, but like large Hispanic communities. So like Spanish is spoken pretty frequently too. And I remember being in middle school and being at like a school assembly, and they would say something for like the parents in like English and then in Spanish. And I don't know why it would just like make me laugh when they would say the whole sentence in Spanish, but then say like the name of the school with the English accent. It was like always trippy to my brain, because I guess my brain was expecting like everything to be like in Spanish with the accent.
Yeah, it's kind of like when I introduce myself, I'm like, hi, my name's Patricia. And people are like, what? Okay, because people expect Patricia, But I try to say it like how I say my name in Spanish. I don't know, but it is trippy. All I know
is when I met you, you walked up to me and were like, hi, I'm Patricia.
Well, because I didn't expect you to...
After I spent like a week trying to pronounce her name correctly, because I was
That's another funny story.
Going to try to be a good roommate. I'm going to try to pronounce this girl's name correctly.
Context, when we were in college, we, signed a lease for different apartments, and within the apartments there was a roommate service where they would match you with people. And once they matched you, they gave you their information. So we were texting before we had actually met each other in person, and I told her my name, and it's Patricia. And
you mentioned that you were Mexican.
Yes. And
I was like, it's definitely not Patricia.
And I was like, well, this white girl, she's not going to know how to say Patricia, so I'm going to say Patricia when I meet her. And
meanwhile, I'm spending like a week trying to pronounce her name. So I was like, I'm gonna do my best to pronounce her name correctly.
And now I feel bad.
I'm gonna say her name right. And I like practiced and practiced and practiced. And I finally get to the apartment, and I was like, oh hey, and you're like, hey, good to finally meet you. Hi, I'm Patricia. And I was like, hi,
how do you say my name? I'm putting you on blast now.
I've never said it in front of you.
You have once, and you haven't done it ever since.
I think that's right. I tried
for
once.
Our viewers.
I can't do it anymore.
Okay, I lost it. She got red. It's fine. Let's proceed with Wendy.
You can't see my face. I have a mask on.
We sidetracked. Let's proceed with Wendy.
I'll pronounce her name eventually.
Yeah.
Anyway, circling back to Wendy's fun fact. She speaks English and Korean. And I believe I read that she may have some levels of fluency in a few other languages as well.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised at all. She also participated in SM Rookies. And I read that she can play multiple musical instruments, including the guitar, flute, piano, and saxophone.
Now that's awesome.
And I was like, well, just another reason to be jealous.
Yeah.
I was like, she's beautiful. She's fabulous. She can sing. She can speak multiple languages, and she can play musical instruments. Like, that's amazing. So, moving on to Joy.
Oh, Joy. I always thought she was like very beautiful in her kind of not exotic way. That's not the word, but she's just, I don't know.
Like exotic in what way?
I don't know how to explain it. I just feel like not exotic. That's not the word. I feel like she's very beautiful. I feel like Irina's conventionally very beautiful.
Like, are we saying by like Korean standards or just like in general?
Well, in general, I feel like Irina's like, she could be a Disney princess. But I feel like Joy would seduce you. You know what I'm saying?
I guess I could kind of see it. I guess like
more of that sensual aura
maybe because she has more like mature vibe versus like a cutesy kind of vibe. Maybe like I guess getting into like the image type thing. Like maybe her image is like less cutesy.
Maybe. I don't know. She's just, to me, she just seems very like sensual. I don't know how to explain it.
I could see it. And I think like in the like reference photo that I have too, I think I could see it.
Oh, well, yeah.
because I pulled it from like one of their releases.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, I don't know. I like the little like doo-doo like thing. I thought it was cool. But Joy is a 96 liner.
Mm-hmm.
Lead rapper, sub vocal.
Yes.
She was casted at a 2012 global audition event that was held in Seoul.
Yeah.
Interesting thing that I thought is apparently she can sing trot, which I thought was interesting because
that's awesome.
That's like a very like specific genre of like Korean music. So you're not just like born a trot singer. I don't think. So I thought that was super cool that apparently she can sing trot.
Mm-hmm.
She's also acted in a couple of dramas. In 2017 and 2018 specifically were the first dramas that she acted in. Mm-hmm. And she also appeared on the variety show We Got Married. Her husband was B2B Sungjae.
Yeah.
And I felt like I had to mention that because I think we've mentioned like B2B Sungjae in like one or two other videos.
Yeah, we have.
I feel like he's just always brought up as, oh, he's this person's friend, or this person trained with him, or this person went to school with him. This is his best friend. That I was like, I have to include this. So we've never, at this point at least, we haven't spoken of B2B yet.
We will eventually, though.
But I just thought it was hilarious that I was like, by the time we get to B2B,
everyone's going to know him
like 100 times. So I just felt like I had to mention that. So moving on to our magne, Yuri. So Yuri is a 99 liner. She's a sub vocal, sub rapper, and she is the magne of the group, like we said. She also participated in SM Rookies.
Big shocker there.
Big shocker that almost the entire group was in SM Rookies at some point. She was added to the group, like we mentioned before, in 2015.
Yes.
So there was really only a few releases before she was added to the group.
I mean, honestly, to me, ReVeluv is 5.
Yeah, I just don't see them as having really ever been a 4-member group, even though I know that's how they started. I'm like, they have 5 members. What I thought was cute is I read that her first time walking in high heels was when they were filming the music video Automatic.
Aww.
But I guess since, she is the youngest member, being a 99 liner, that would make her what, like...
I can't do math right now.
15 or so.
Okay.
When they debuted.
Yeah.
So I'm like, she was maybe 15, 16-ish. I'm like, I didn't wear a lot of heels prior to being like 16 either. Like, for me, I was like, oh, I got to go to like the high school band banquet. It's time for me to wear heels and my nice outfit. I personally feel like I got used to heels because like when you turn 15 or so, like quinceañeras for us are all we would wear is high heels, and then from there on I was pretty good. And then in college I would go out and wear them, but then now I feel like I suck at wearing them because I don't wear them at all anymore. Oh, see, I think I like reversed. I like barely wore them. I can run in them now though. So yeah, I just thought that was really adorable. I was like, oh, I'm like, she hadn't wore heels, and now she's a big girl K-pop idol. Just look at her. And I included this last fact because it's food that I'm like, Patty's probably going to be like, ugh, why? What? Apparently one of her favorite foods is tuna kimchi fried rice.
Ew, why? No, I'm kidding.
Because I know you like kimchi fried rice, but you hate
I don't
and
like
detest
seafood. Any type of seafood is gross to me, but...
Yeah. I've never tried tuna kimchi fried rice.
I was like,
but I like tuna and I like kimchi fried rice.
So you probably will like it.
So I'd probably like the combination.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like a decent combination, even for someone that doesn't like seafood. That sounds.
I mean, a lot of people do stuff like in Korean food. I think with spam, right? Like spam fried rice, kimchi fried rice. That's a thing, I think, right?
I don't know. I think so.
Because I'm pretty sure they like their spam, and I don't personally like spam a lot, but since it's like canned food, I could totally see like kimchi and tuna working.
I've never tried spam in my life. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like hate spam, but I don't like love it either. Don't really like it. Like if that was like all the food there was in the pantry, I would eat it. But if there was like a can of tuna, I would eat that instead.
Of course. Okay.
But now that we know a little bit more about the members, I think we should totally check out some of their music. Like we said earlier, we do know some stuff about ReVeluv. Like we both know and enjoy quite a few of their songs.
For sure.
But I know I've never seen their debut song.
Me
And
neither.
I'm definitely behind on their more recent releases.
Same.
I'm trying to think what the last release was that I personally like know that I've listened to.
For me, it was Bad Boy, I think was the last thing I ever listened to.
Oh
them.
yeah. Is that I remember that one, I think. The ooh,
2018,
ooh,
yeah.
da, 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 ooh,
And I haven't
ooh.
listened to anything after that, so.
That's right, because there was an English version.
Mm-hmm.
And I put it on my work K-pop playlist that they only ever played once. So we're definitely at least 2.5 years behind.
Yeah.
So I definitely think we should maybe check out some of their early stuff. Maybe check out some more recent stuff. So
I'm
we
down.
can be all caught up.
I'm down.
All right. Well, do we want to go ahead and dive into their music?
Let's do it.
Okie dokie.
So, are we going to listen to Happiness first?
Let's do Happiness. Because like we said, that's their debut. And I'm still shooketh that they are the first SM artist that has 100 million views on their debut. So
That
I'm
is
like
insane.
totally shooketh and totally ready. I do not know the video and I don't think I'm familiar with the song either.
I don't know.
So I'm
it
looking
either.
forward to this.
Yep. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it then.
Let's go. Bird.
Oh, wow.
Oh, this is really colorful.
Okay, this is fucking awesome, honestly. It's the hair, yeah. It is
Oh,
the
so this
song.
is what you're talking about with the hair. Where like the
Yeah.
tips, the like ponytail tips are
Yeah,
dyed.
yeah.
That's kind of helpful because I guess if you can't remember their names, you could just be like, I like the green hair one.
Right? That is pretty interesting. They all look so young.
That's what I was just about to say. I was like, oh my gosh, they're so precious.
Right? Yeah, I've never seen this before. I'm shocked I've never seen this before.
I like the video though. It's
Oh,
funky.
yeah, it's great.
Their hair matches their outfits.
I know, it's awesome.
I want my hair to match my outfits.
My hair usually does because it's black. I wear a lot of black. Well, dark brown, but
Yeah, I can't get over how young they look. I mean, they still look really young now, but I'm just like, oh my gosh, they're like babies.
I know, it's crazy. I would want purple though.
Purple.
Yeah.
I think I would want like green or like turquoise.
Kind of like Joyce.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, I love her hat. It's
That puts those like English hats to shame.
I know.
So I think this was where like the controversy stuff
okay.
was, with some of the imagery and stuff with like the towers.
Yeah. And it's hard for me to tell what the song's saying.
Yeah, I don't have the lyrics on.
Yeah.
I like the dance.
Oh, yeah. This is interesting.
And I
Oh.
really,
Oh, snap.
I'm like, whoa.
I know. I did not expect that. Oh, that was awesome editing.
I'm still shocked I haven't heard this. This is
so
adorable.
good. I love this.
This is a really good debut though.
Maybe that's why they have a lot of views.
And we're just like a
Oh!
million years late to the party.
I liked.
And there's a cute little bear.
I was like getting with them like body rollers.
You were about to be like, oh, gee.
I know. That was great.
I mean, but what was that? Was it like a gummy bear?
Maybe.
Whatever it was super cute. And I want like a stuffed animal squishy of it. Do they make it?
I don't know.
Well, I want one. That was so good.
That
I'm
was
like seriously
really
shocked that I'm
good.
like, why haven't I heard this before?
I don't know. Huh.
That was good.
was
Like that was a
great.
really good debut too. Like holy crap.
Mm-hmm. That was great.
I really like that.
It seemed like it went by really fast.
It did. That's how you know you're enjoying something though.
Mm-hmm. That's true. So, what's our next song?
Which one do you want to do next? We have 2 upcoming songs, both of which Summer can't pronounce.
Okay, I'm gonna try to pronounce the one that I want to listen to. Umpah, 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 umpah,
Oomph.
umph.
Like I don't know if it's like a word or is it like a sound effect,
Phrase?
like or something like.
Please help us, guys. We always ask for your help, and we appreciate the help.
We would like
you
to
guys have
join
given
your
us.
fandom. Please help
Please.
us.
But we're about to listen to the song.
Oomph,
Or
oomph.
umpah, umpah, or umpah. I don't know.
Uh-uh.
We'll see. Hopefully, maybe they'll sing the phrase.
I just can't stop laughing because I'm like, we sound like we're trying to be the background track to some song like oomph, oomph,
No, I don't know. Well, let's do this then.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes, and hopefully you find out how this song is named. Or
I hope
pronounced.
so too.
Let's do it then.
Okay.
Umpah, umpah.
Oompa oompa.
Umpah, umpah. Umpah, umpah? Wait. Umpah, umpah. So this came out a year ago, right?
I think this came out a few years ago.
Really?
I think 2019, I believe.
Was it? Oh, wow. I don't know when this came out. Yeah, in 2019. Wow. I mean, it's barely 2021, but...
Yeah, this was part of the ReVeluv festival, however you pronounce that.
Okay.
Had like a day 1, day 2, and then a compilation.
Okay.
I'm still shocked I don't know this one either.
This is very summery. Summer.
Oh, I think it came out in the summer.
In August.
Mhm.
I saw the date. Umpah. Umpah, umpah. So it was kind of like a sound.
I like their outfits.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They're just like very casual,
But they look
but
so
super cute.
Okay, girl. Get it? Does her hair change from that part to the other part? Oh, yeah. Maybe extensions?
Oh, I would think so for sure. I just like that all their videos have a lot of pops of color.
Wait, what?
The videos, how they have just a lot of color in general.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Pops of color.
The yellow in this video is amazing. I mean,
It's
they're-
nice shades of yellow, too.
Yeah, and they even apply it in their shirts and everything. Even here, you see the pops? The White House.
I would die if I crawled on my roof.
I was just thinking, I love the palette of this. Ooh, I like that. They're so beautiful.
They are. Like, I wouldn't look that cute wearing a raincoat.
Right.
I would just fall off the roof and die.
And I'm just looking at their haircuts. I want their hair.
I don't think I could pull off some of those hairstyles, though.
It makes me want to get bangs. Oh, that was a cool ending. Ooh. I like that. I like that a lot.
That was really cute.
That was really good.
Like, I feel like if we could go back to our college days, we'd be like in the apartment in the summer, and we'd be like driving to the grocery store with the windows down, listen to this, and we'd be like, Umpah, Umpah.
Yeah.
And it would just be adorable.
It would be a good time.
I know. I like that, though. That was super cute. And I'm again super shocked that I haven't heard this before.
I know.
Like, I realize it's been out for less than 2 years, but still. I mean, I don't know every Red Velvet song, but I know enough of their stuff that I feel like I would have heard this, and I haven't.
Personally, I don't even think I remember seeing any promotion about it. At least I didn't see it. I don't know what I was up to at that time.
No, I'm not sure. I'm still shocked I hadn't seen that, but I'm definitely happy that I've seen it now because it was super adorable.
That was good.
I liked it.
So,
we're ready for our next one.
Song?
I'm
going to try to pronounce it.
Oh, you go for it.
Zimzalabim.
I think that's better than what I said a couple minutes ago off camera. What did you say? Zimzalabim? So my problem is I don't know, like, where do I put, like, how staccato do I pronounce the word? Like, is it Zimzalabim? Zimzalabim? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I hope we find out. We're just going to have to find out in the video. If they say it. I mean, I don't know what that means, so.
Hopefully we find out. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Let's do it then. Okay.
You ready?
Yes, I'm ready to do this. Let's go.
So yeah, see, this came out from around the same time. So it's like the ReVe or Red Velvet Festival.
Yeah. I love her earrings. Oh my gosh.
Are you ready for this?
No, I mean, yeah. There you go.
Zimzalabim.
Zimzalabim.
Okay.
Ooh.
What does it mean, though?
I don't know. But I like that set. Oh.
Oh.
I like Joey Snell's. Such a pretty color. Oh. Okay.
I liked the shot of the roller coaster.
Yeah. It reminded me of like roller skates or something. Her earrings are amazing. Okay, get it?
Oh.
Her earrings are amazing.
Oh, they are. I thought you just said her ears are amazing, and I was like, all right.
I was saying her ears, and I was like, whoa, her earrings. Whoa, that's trippy. Zimzalabim. Okay, got it.
That was cool. Oh, so I have the lyrics. Do you have the lyrics on? The subs?
Yeah.
So a couple lines ago, it said something about when you cast the spell. Do you think that has something to do with it?
Maybe. Like Zimzalabim.
Like Zimzalabim, like boom biddity bop or whatever it is.
Yeah, maybe.
I wish I could wear their outfits. Like, I wish they would look good on me like they look on them.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Hey, get it?
Oh, what's gonna happen? Uh-huh. Oh,
shit! Oh, that's lit. Seeing that live would be amazing, I bet. Okay. Yeah, I love her voice.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh.
Makes me want to learn some of this choreography.
It looks fun.
Right?
That's it? Oh, yeah. That was not like 3 minutes went by already. I was too busy being like,
That was great. Actually, I have to say, I think this is my favorite from the three.
I think this is my favorite
Yeah.
too.
That was great.
I'm like, holy crap. This all happened in 2019. I gotta go like catch up and like listen to like the full album. Like,
Right.
holy crap.
That was really good.
That was really catchy.
Yeah.
Now I know how to pronounce
this.
it. Zimzalabim. Zimzalabim.
I'm glad we did this. I'm glad we caught up. Well, to the best of our abilities, because there's other songs we probably missed out,
But now we know like their recent
Yes.
stuff, so that's good. That was good.
That was
I
good.
think I need to go check out like off camera, obviously, like the rest of the album that these songs came from.
for sure. And if there's any beat tracks you guys want us to hear,
Ooh,
please recommend
yeah,
that.
let us
because-
know. Especially if there's any more like music videos for any of the like recent B tracks.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
Well, I'm happy we caught up.
Me too. Yeah. We'll see you guys next week then.
Bye.